Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody today. This is Best Missouri Hands Professional Development Workshop. And today we're going to discuss stumbling blocks. So anybody that's on the call, if you've got any issues with, say, your website, social media, Instagram, Facebook, Business Suite, if you got questions about your, if you're a juried Best Missouri Hands artist, if you have any questions about your juried member page, we're here to answer any questions and help you out. So today, helping is Wanda Tyner. She's a glass artist up in Lee Summit, Missouri. And I'm Kim Carr. I'm a photographer in New Florence. And I see we've got Annie Webster on the call today. And she is a fiber artist up in Kansas City and soon to be the new president of the Best Missouri Hands. So that is fantastic. So I guess, and Wanda's got this being recorded and everything. So Annie, will, since you're our star pupil today, we'll see if you've got anything you're needing help with. This is just an informal, bounce things off each other and, see what we get.
One of the things that that was brought up at the Art Smart conference is using Square as your sales page on your website. And I haven't really had a chance to look into that too much since then, but I don't know if either of you use that, or are you using, WordPress or whatever for the sales through your website, or Squarespace or Shopify or one of those. I think it was Shopify for a while, and but that was just when I was just getting started, and it was just too expensive for right out of the gate. So I moved to doing Etsy stuff, and I'm just lost at Etsy. There's too much stuff there. And I don't like that there are ads for other people's stuff on my page. And, I don't want somebody to find something they like better than my stuff while they're looking at my stuff. So I guess I'm wondering what you all think is the best sales tool through website, what you're using, what you've tried, that kind of thing.
Okay, I'm going to let Wanda jump in here and give her input on this, and then I'll add some after she's covered some.
So I have had Etsy in the past. I'm not using Etsy now for all the reasons you mentioned. Just lost there, and you don't have control and a lot of other things. I used WordPress at one point. Hated it, moved, and I ended up with Shopify, and I'm very happy with Shopify for a lot of reasons. One, by the time you look at hosting fees, and then anytime you add e-commerce, you're going to have e-commerce fees on just about any of the platforms. I think they all work well, but I think the one that works the best is the one that's easiest for you to use. And I find Shopify real easy to create a website, but also a shop. But what I also like about it is that I've been able to integrate a shop for Instagram, Facebook shop, a Pinterest shop, without doing anything more than turning them on. Once they're turned on, all my products automatically integrate. Anytime I change them, whether it's a change of price, add a picture, whatever, it automatically integrates with Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and any of those. Others. And I do think other ones do that as well. But I think when you're looking for the e-commerce, I would look for that feature, because it's another way for you to be seen while you're doing social media posts or whatever. It's just another avenue to be seen without you having to do any more work than you're already doing. So I would look at that. I know Wix is real easy. I know somebody that's using Square. I think I'm pretty sure Barb Byrne is using Square with GoDaddy.
Okay.
So she might have some insights about using Square. But I used Square before I went to Shopify as my point of sale. And the little device, I have moved to a Shopify device because that's the other thing I like about Shopify. If I use my little device, it automatically logs it out of my website. It takes care of my inventory, whether I'm in person or somebody buys it off my
Oh,
website.
wow. Okay.
For me, but I think Square would, if you use Square, it would work the same way.
Sure.
If you've got
Sure.
your inventory in Square, then when you use a point of sale, it would take it out of your inventory. And I think that's another feature that just again reduces the work you have to do. And it gives you
Mhm.
the incentive for putting all your products on your website. Because even when you're at an art fair, all your products are at the website. If you sell it there, it comes out of your website at the same time and all that. And so there's more incentive for keeping all of your inventory on your website because it's all
Absolutely. Yeah, that's something to think about, is like, no, is it here? Is it there? Do I close my shop for a while on Etsy, or take a break, or
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah,
languages they use? And have I
yeah,
made sure that I update all that? Yeah, that's
yeah.
great.
So, one thing I would suggest, if you do go back and look at Shopify, use a free theme. They have plenty
Okay.
of free themes that are Shopify themes. And that's
Mhm.
the one mistake I made, because I'm going to have to switch themes. And the reason to switch to a Shopify paid for theme is every time they do a major upgrade to Shopify, all of their themes are automatically updated.
Oh, okay.
Whereas the paid theme, sometimes you end up having to do a conversion, which may or may not be a
Sure.
big deal depending on how big it is, but also reduces your cost to not pay for it.
Right.
And I
Okay.
do find, like the other thing that I'll mention, not that I'm trying to sell Shopify, but I was at an art fair. I was having trouble with my point of sale. They have 24/7 support, live support for the point of sale, which,
Oh, wow, that's nice.
which is very important when you're at an art fair and something's not going right.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And
That's
I just,
great.
I can't answer about Square on that, because I don't think I ever had to try to call them when I used my
Yeah.
Square, but I'm pretty sure it
Well,
works the
I
same
think,
way.
yeah, I think Wanda might have just sold me, because I do know I do know that Patty Minix has used Square as her website and point of sale
Mhm.
from the beginning. So if you have more questions, I would contact her. I know she's
Okay.
very. I have used Weebly since the start. I researched a bunch whenever I first started my website, and back in 2010 or 11. And Weebly's the one I've landed on. I cannot
Mhm.
say that I that it's my favorite or anything like that. But it has worked for me. The thing is that they recently have merged with Square. And so what
Oh,
I
okay.
found is what I found a year ago, and trying to set up another website for the book and everything, that they are forcing you now to use the Square format or templates or whatever.
Mhm.
And I found that they had a lot fewer options than what Weebly had. And so that kind of frustrated me and stuff like that. But I also have not done like what Wanda has done. I like that everything is integrated, and goes to her Pinterest and to her social media and stuff like that. So I will look into Shopify. My big fear is that I've got so much stuff on my website, and rebuilding a website from scratch again scares me to death. Okay, because that's one thing. I also have an Etsy shop.
Mhm.
I have used my Etsy shop for birthday invitations. So I don't have to ship anything physically. They pick one of my images and I design a birthday invitation around my image. And so I send a digital,
Oh,
I can
sure.
make
Yeah.
design party hats and, cupcake thingies and bottled water wraps and stuff like that, and just send files digitally. But I also had the same issue with Etsy with their prices seem to continually go up on what they charge you and your profit margin and like you said, getting found on there. So I have put my shop in vacation mode probably for about a year now, because that was another thing. It's like, I've put so much work into that shop. I don't want to lose all that. So I'm trying to get enough distance between me and that to where I'm like, okay, I've not sold anything up
cut it
for a
off.
year. Yeah, but that's because it's been on vacation for a year. So you don't sell when it's on vacation.
Right.
But I'm hoping that it'll make it easier for me to let it go,
Mhm.
But I would look into the Square. I think it is a basic, very simple, I've told some people that are just starting out to look into it, because I think it is a good beginner, and probably would be for whatever stuff. But I definitely will look into this Shopify too, because I really do. I mean, when we're trying to sell art, the more platforms we can hit, and doing one thing and hit all
Right.
these platforms, the better. I mean, because we don't have all this extra time.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Wanda has brought up some good points. Yeah, she brought up some good points that have me thinking that I need to maybe invest a little time into it, and in the long run it'll pay off. Put in a bunch of time now, and down the road, then I have to do minimal stuff, hopefully.
Yeah.
And the one thing you can do that I liked is that, and I probably all of them do that, but I think you have 30 days or 45 days where you can go out and set up a website and play with it and everything before you have to decide on a plan. And they have
Mhm.
if it's not free, it's real cheap, but I don't think it's got e-commerce. And
Right.
then they have different levels of plans. And I think for us artists, we just need that first basic Shopify basic plan, that we don't need the one with all the bells and whistles and what
Yeah.
have you. And I do think it's a little cheaper if you buy a 3-year plan versus a 1-year plan and some
Oh,
of that
sure,
kind of stuff.
probably.
But
Yeah.
and Square probably has all that too.
Mhm.
I'm glad I hit on Shopify when I did. They also have something called Shop. I haven't really looked in it a whole lot, but I think what I do understand about it is it's kind of like Fair or some of those other platforms, probably a bit like Etsy. Anybody that's a Shopify merchant has their products on Shop.
Oh, okay.
Hasn't done anything. I haven't had a sale from it, so I haven't
Right.
done any, but I'm also not having to work at it. It's just there.
Yeah.
So, and they also have another night feature. I don't know if Square has, um, but a customer can buy a piece of my art on installment. And I think what it is every 2 weeks. So it's
Mhm.
over 4 payments, they can buy the art, but I ship it immediately. I get paid immediately.
Oh, wow.
So that installment is just between the customer and Shopify, and I think they just charging
You
their
say
credit
that. I
card.
think I've seen that on when I've bought stuff off of Shopify sites. It becomes
And
easy to recognize what people are
yeah,
using when you go through the checkout process.
yeah, because the
Yeah.
Shop Pay versus PayPal. And
Uh-huh.
that's the other thing. They can do all that. They can choose Shop Pay or PayPal or
Mhm.
about any of the payment options on my website, or, Google Pay, all that without, and I'm
Yeah.
sure Square does too. But just, different features to think about. And, it was just a few years ago that I rewrote my WordPress into Shopify. And I
Mhm.
did look at all the others at that time. So it was a couple years. So it was
Yeah.
the beginning of the pandemic. I decided it was time to rewrite my website and get
Mhm.
over my procrastination about it.
Funny how that pandemic worked out for that and a lot of things.
That it did.
Well, thank
Or at
you.
least it was
Well,
my
I have a
final
question.
excuse.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Wanda. With the Shopify website, are you able to create a newsletter?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Do
I
you
can't
know?
answer any, I don't, I'm not doing it. So, yeah, you can slap my hand, but I do know it is capturing all the emails. And I do, in the way Shopify works is there's apps you add. So there's several newsletter apps. They're free. It's just that you only add them to your website if you're using them. There's paid apps too, but I don't use any of the paid apps. But there are newsletter apps, and it's on my to-do list. Just hasn't hit the top.
My concern is that I've been doing a newsletter through Weebly for some time now, but they don't have an archive. And so, yeah. So it's like, I'm just tossing these newsletters in the trash, basically. I want people that, are new to me and just discovered me, be able to go back and look through archives if they want. So I will do some researching on Shopify and check out the newsletter options and see what they offer, because I really want I want to have a library of my past newsletters available to the public.
Yeah.
I did a Google on how to do a newsletter in Shopify, and immediately it popped up with how to do it just now. I mean, like I said, I'm capturing the emails. I just haven't gone to sending out newsletters.
Yeah.
But the
well,
one
I
thing
see,
they have,
Lois
the one thing
joined.
they have is a good help.
Okay.
Lois is out in the beautiful outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lois, I think you're
Lois?
muted. You'll have to unmute.
There, I'm unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Okay. good
Yeah.
morning.
Hi, Lois.
Hi. I use GoDaddy, and
Okay.
on GoDaddy, I can have my newsletters, and it saves them. I have a special page for newsletters, and it saves my newsletters, but it's on GoDaddy. GoDaddy has a special way of selling too, but I don't sell online, so it's I don't I know Allison uses Shopify because I bought some things and Shopify pops up.
Okay.
And I think Allison isn't using Shopify for her website. I think she's just using Shopify
No.
for the commerce portion of
Right.
her website. So,
Right.
so she's attaching where I just use Shopify for the whole thing.
Oh, do you?
So that's another option. But I mean, once you've decided to go down any route, Annie, especially since you're on Etsy, you're
Mhm.
going to need to build a whole,
Yeah.
menu and all of that, which, you can make as simple or as complex as you want. And that's the one beauty. If you want to focus on your products, pick a platform where you can just put an about page and you can do a shop page and you can add other stuff later.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have to make it, because you don't have a website that you're trying to replicate. You can start with, let's just get my products out there and put it about in the
Right, yeah.
contact, add the rest of it later.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Well, Lois, do you have any questions? Do you have anything that you're needing help with, Lois?
Not at the moment, other than I've got to water my plants. We're getting ready to leave. So I hope this is not distracting to you. We're leaving tomorrow morning for Uganda. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, our church has a sponsorship program where you can sponsor a child to go to school. And we've done that for the last 5 years. And we've always talked about it would be great to go visit, but we've never done that. And when I had my knee replaced this spring, Irv said, if we don't go this year, there's a good chance we'll never get to meet her. So we're doing it. So we leave in the morning.
Wow.
We do traveling, and having sales online for me is very difficult because I'm afraid I'm going to miss a sale and I'm going to be someplace where I can't ship. So I just don't bother.
Well,
I just
I,
don't
w- I would
bother.
think that, Wanda, can you put a website on vacation mode like you can Etsy?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or you can just
So
put
it's-
or you can just put your shop portion of your website on vacation. Quite
Uh,
honestly, I don't get enough sales, so I don't worry about it. If I was getting tons of sales, I'd be more worried about putting it on vacation. And the few times that I've been
Yeah.
away, I just contact the customer and say, I won't be able to ship to this
Mhm.
date. Is that okay with you? And so far it always has been. If it isn't, I would just refund their money. So,
uh-huh.
you can put your shop on vacation or whatever.
Yeah.
I know on Etsy you can do that. I had Etsy during the pandemic. That time I'll just make an extra shop because I had quite a few people ask, well, how do you sell online? And I never sold a single thing. So
Mhm.
I closed
Mhm.
the shop. It's there, but you can't, nothing's posted. So
I have another question for you guys. So, are you guys doing anything actively to advertise or push your work on Pinterest? So I'm not.
Mhm.
I put it out there. I added some pins, and then I thought, oh, it's in. Now I'm integrated with Shopify, so I don't need to do anything. But when you integrate with Shopify, it just is in the shop portion of Pinterest. It's not on your board or whatever. And I've never tried to do ads or do anything to really kind of do like I do on social media with Pinterest, and wondered if any of you do more active and see any results from that on Pinterest.
I
No.
haven't done that. At one point, it seemed, I don't know if I was doing it when I had the Shopify site or if it was something that Etsy was trying, but I had everything out there and linked. I hadn't done any like ads or anything like that, but yeah, it didn't go anywhere. But yeah, there were like little buy now buttons in Pinterest but they never got clicked. I don't know. I mean, you shouldn't base your decisions on how you use something, because I probably don't use Pinterest like everyone else uses Pinterest, but I don't go to Pinterest looking to buy things. I go there to find crochet patterns and recipes, and I get a bunch of gobbledygook ads that I don't care anything about, like Hollywood secrets and that kind of stuff. But I mean, I also don't see a lot of things that have like a buy it now button in there as I'm going through Pinterest. And maybe it's just because of the things I'm looking for, because you wouldn't necessarily buy a recipe. You'd buy a crochet pattern, but yeah, I don't know.
I've had a random sale
Well-
there before I even had it integrated with Shopify. It was just a
Mhm.
random, I mean, because one nice thing about Shopify is it does tell you where somebody, how they got to your website. So you
Yeah.
know whether it came from social
Oh,
media or Pinterest or whatever.
that's nice.
Yeah. My experience with Pinterest is, for one, I was trying to create a shop on there also or something, and you had to embed stuff in your metadata or something. And so I was actually going to hire someone to get it set up like as a website or a shop on Pinterest. And it was too confusing for them too, so I never did. But anyways, I was posting like every day at different times and all this. And I had gotten my followers or whatever it is that you get on Pinterest up. It was, like 100,000. I don't know.
Wow.
It was a
Wow.
lot. It was a lot. And then Pinterest did that thing where they changed their metadata or whatever, and they no longer counted something or whatever, and it dropped my following down to like 20,000. And so that was just so like devastating and stuff. I kind of sat back for a while and I was like, you know what, this isn't worth it. And so then I started trying again, and it just gradually just kept dropping. And I was like, you know what, I'm giving this a break for a while. So I haven't done much with Pinterest for the past year. I've maybe shared pinned one or two things, but I'd taken some Pinterest workshops and everything, was doing all the things that they said to do. And I was hitting it hard. And like I said, I really built up those numbers. And then all of a sudden for Pinterest to change how they recorded and everything, I was like,
Yeah,
too
that
frustrated.
stinks.
Too
Yeah.
frustrated.
Yeah, I read something recently where Pinterest was really a good place to be because there really are a lot of shoppers on there. Now, it could have been a skewed article that I read, but
I was like,
um,
don't do it like you do it. That's
but
That's
again,
the
since
rule.
so I was out there the other day and I realized, oh, my actual board of Wanda Tyner glass art really doesn't have a lot in it. And I had to go hunt down so the integration I have is to the shopping portion of Pinterest. So it's not, they're not coming to my board and then looking, they're finding it through their searches or whatever. And it just
Okay.
takes you back to my website. So it's not buying it on Pinterest. It goes to the website, which is good because then you don't have them getting distracted with the looks like
Yeah.
Pinterest stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't really have a desire to go deep down trying to do it unless there's some real value, because I don't really find a lot of value on social media with the advertising or any of that. I don't know if you guys do.
Yeah, no.
So you've
I would
actually
say
tried
for
advertising
me,
with
have you, Wanda or Annie, have
Have
you
I-
guys paid for advertising on Facebook?
I have, but it's been a long time. I pre-pandemic, I did a couple of like ads before an art fair just to see kind of thing, but I haven't done any in recent. I'm just too cheap.
Yeah, me too. I think mine was before a fair too, but yeah, I don't know. It's
toying
hard
with
from
the
that
idea,
to tell if I did anything with it.
I was toying with the idea of doing one for a fair coming up in July that probably just good for the fair as well as for me to find a way to ensure there's more attendance.
I think that I'm going to do a couple for the book because I could really I think get valuable data, because all the books that I've sold mainly were just by word of mouth on Facebook. And now that the initial push has been out there and stuff like that, sales have really dropped. And so I'm interested to do an ad on Facebook and kind of see if it picks up some sales and stuff like that. But the only Facebook ads I've done in the past is for actual art shows. Like I was on the Artist Boutique committee and the Queenie Art Park committee and stuff. So I've ran some Facebook ads for them and stuff, but for myself, not really. So I am interested just to give that a try and see, see if I can see any spikes in sales.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
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 And it's interesting because you also will be able to use some hashtags like children's books and stuff like that that'll potentially pull in from something outside the art world, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because I'm making some sales on Amazon, but I have no idea where those sales are coming from because I don't get to see a list of names or to see if it's anybody I recognize or what part of the country they're coming from or anything like that. So I like when you can get some data and, you know, put some real information together and stuff, so you kind of know who to target and stuff. It's just like, you know, with the book, everybody's, you know, they're like, well, what age group is it? And I said, well, the majority of people that are reading it are, you know, 55 to, you know, or they're not kids. It's
Yeah.
adults. And you know, I know it's, you know, marketed as a kid's book and stuff, but I think the adults are enjoying it, you know, as much. And you know, and it's also too, they know me and you know my stories around the farm and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how the second book goes, you know, too. So, but yeah, with marketing, you want to put your money where it's going to count, but it's not always easy to know where that is going to be at, where it's going to be most effective.
Yeah.
Have you tried contacting librarians? Because it's an excellent book for a library, a school library.
Yeah, I've actually have, I contacted the Montgomery Library, it's in there, and then I've had friends that have taken it to their local library and have gotten the one issue, which I'm trying to, I think I've fixed. For me, I was told that I couldn't get the title put on the spine of the book, and to me, that's very important, having the title on the
Right.
spine.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so I don't know what it was where they said they couldn't do that. But what I ended up doing is I bought, I designed a sticker and like an address label and
Right.
with the title and my stuff. And so now I'm adding that to the spine of the books, because in a library, I mean, all the books are, you know, so without that title on the spine, I think it's just lost. But hopefully
Right.
any book moving forward now that I sell or whatever, but you know, if they buy it online and on Amazon, it won't have that sticker. But if they get it from me, I,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. What
and that is,
what about
that's something that's important.
what about hardcover? Are you planning on doing that or library
You
binding?
know, for my, I guess I need to check into that stuff, because Ingram Sparks is who prints the books. So I'm guessing I can do a hard, of course, a hardcover is going to be more expensive. And
Right.
but my book on the heritage breeds, I'd really want that to be a hardcover book. The other books in this series, I'm not one way or the other. I just want my title on the spine. So I got to figure out what I
Yeah.
need to do to make that happen.
Yeah.
It's all a learning process.
Exactly.
Question
Exactly.
for you all. Have any of you gone back and took a look at how you're pricing your artwork after the Art Smart conference based on McKenna's thought process around pricing?
I missed that, so I don't know her thought process.
I did go back, and there was a couple of reasons I did. I wanted to do a wholesale opportunity, and I knew I wasn't pricing it for wholesale. So I did do that. I probably still need to up them even higher than that, but I did at least, I thought I had a pretty good formula, but I was pricing more for the percentage commissions that I was getting at the galleries, and not for a wholesale opportunity. So I haven't done it wholesale. I haven't made that go across every one of my artworks, but the ones I was, you know, all the ones that I was going to take wholesale, I made sure all of those got changed so I could do the wholesale opportunity. It is a good thinking process. Part of me knows that you kind of have to do it. You probably really have to go back on your old art and upgrade it too. You can't just start with your new art, because that just it
Right.
looks kind of funny doing
Yeah.
that.
Right. Right. What was her percentage
know,
for wholesaling?
Wholesale is essentially you're selling it at half your retail price to the wholesaler.
Okay, okay. I had a wholesaler contact me and she wanted to give me 60%, or not 60. She wanted to give me 40% and sell it at 60%.
Woo.
Wow. I would never do
And
that.
I just couldn't. I told her I just can't. I lost her as a customer. That's okay.
Oh, well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
pretty rich. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Etsy, when I had that Etsy shop, I offered for free shipping because they suggested you do that. And I went back and I upped all my prices to include the free shipping. So it's basically, yeah.
Yeah, I did that
So I
too. And
basically did that.
it made the prices on some of the things just ridiculous. I thought, like, there's no
Mm.
way anyone's going to buy this. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I understand that Amazon can offer free shipping because they're shipping so much stuff. But as
Right.
an artist, when I'm selling like a $5 item and now I'm adding another $10 onto
$5.90.
that price because of the shipping costs, that's just,
Right.
no. It's,
Right.
Yeah, I went through that same process, and even right now on my website, I think if it's over $300, I'll do free shipping, because like
yeah,
at some
and that
point
makes
you can
sense.
kind of, you at some point
Yeah.
people are good, but people know when you've got a $20 item, they're expecting to ship, or they're going to do more volume or whatever. I've gone
Right.
back and forth on where that right niche is, but for the most part, I don't think people get upset about shipping. They know shipping costs, and I try to keep the shipping costs down. Shopify has the same kind of discount, has the exact same discounts as GoShippo.
Hmm.
I don't, there's others out there, and I either use Shopify or I use GoShippo. They have the exact same discounts on UPS and USPS and all that. So I try to keep it down as much as you can. You know, I
Yeah,
sold
I
this
mean, I'm not
one
trying to
really,
make money on shipping. I'm not a
yeah, no.
shipper, so I don't want it
Yeah.
to be expensive either. But there's some of those little things that it's just going to cost some money to ship it. It doesn't matter what you do.
And shipping
Yeah.
keeps going up.
Oh yeah,
So, and I think to me, as a consumer myself, yes, I use Amazon all the time, and
mhm.
I get that, and I also get that they're embedding that in the price somehow.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
I mean, it's not like it's not there. It's not even about the free shipping so much as the 2-day shipping or the overnight shipping, or
right.
but me as a consumer, shipping doesn't bother me, and taxes doesn't seem to bother people because they know they got to pay it whenever they go to a retail store, and pretty much having to pay it now with Amazon anymore. So I
Yeah,
think some of that's gone
Right.
away now. That used to be, most of the states have figured out they can charge sales tax even on the
Right.
online stores.
yeah. There was that brief period there, but no, it's all over now.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any
Well,
other stumbling
any other
blocks or questions?
Are you both doing okay with your juried member page? Have you both updated on your juried member page on Best Missouri Hands?
No, I'm very bad at that. I make all those posts about the spotlight artists, and I think every week when I set those up, I think, oh, gosh, I really need to add some new photos. And every week I finish doing the ones for everyone else and just go on about my day. So yeah, I need to make that a goal to get some new photos up there.
Yeah, it's just like, they always say the cobbler's son never has any shoes, so,
Exactly.
uh,
Exactly.
Right.
I can
Right,
understand that,
right.
but I mean, the folks from the making show were at Art Smart, and they did a little clip with me, about Art Smart and stuff like that. And that's how they found, the majority of the artists that they have on there that have been Best Missouri Hands. Well, that all of them they found through our website. So, I just really encourage Annie, take some time for yourself. and make sure your page is updated. And one thing too, a lot of people don't realize, because there's a spot on there for you to put a link to your website. So it's like the only spot but like on mine and the statement about myself, I've put links to my Facebook page and to my Patreon page and stuff. So you can make live links in there too. So the more, just I guess the more accessibility that people have to you and your artwork, the better and stuff. So
Yeah.
put that on your list this week.
Okay, I've got it.
Yourself.
I wrote it down.
Get your page. Okay. And same goes for you, Lois, because even if you're
I
not
don't
selling
have-
online, you've got your work. Huh?
Right. Yeah, I I need to update it. I updated it about maybe a month and a half ago.
I was thinking
it's
that
been
you
a
had
while.
some new
Good.
stuff on there. Yeah.
My
Okay, good.
problem, I think I figured it out. I got a new computer last year. And the new computer, my son-in-law chose it for me, but it's a gaming computer. And I did not realize it was a gaming computer. And it doesn't do what my old computer, my old Dell did. And it has taken me the longest time to figure out how to get my photos from my camera or my phone onto my computer, because it didn't do it the way it used to. And it doesn't have the plugins that I was used to, and it didn't download. And it's like, so I gave up. I just gave up. And I went back shortly after Christmas when I had my knee done. And I figured, I'm just going to sit on here now that I can't do anything and figure this out. And I did. I figured it out. But it's a circuitous way of doing it. And there must be an easier way. I have to email it to me, and then I have to open my email, change the setting on the photograph, and then download it individually. I can't just do a group one at a time. So it's just, it just takes time. And right now I have not had the time.
I'm sure there's a simpler way. It's just getting that figured out.
Yeah.
There's got to be. And I asked him, tell me how to do this. And he said, I don't have an iPhone. I don't know how to do it. It's like, oh, well, could you figure it out for me? That didn't help either. So, none of my kids have iPhones. So it's like, oh, and you go on, you ask the phone, how do I? And sometimes they give you an easy way of doing stuff, and other times it's like, I don't understand this, or it doesn't work for me. So, in time, it'll happen.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm fine.
Well, make sure that on your Best Missouri Hands page that you list what galleries that you're in.
Yeah.
So people know
Yeah.
to
Well,
find your work.
Yeah. I added a couple galleries, and I
Good,
list them
good.
on my newsletter when I do my newsletter. So they're listed there too. So,
All right.
yeah, my big one though closed down. Stone Soup here in St. Louis closed down. That was very sad.
Now,
But,
Lois, on
you
your
know, but-
on your newsletter, Lois, does it have, like if you're emailing it to people, does it have where a link where people could view it online?
No,
That
I've
Okay.
I've not figured out how to do the hyperlink. I used to know all that stuff, but
Okay.
when I was teaching, they taught us that. But with this new computer, I don't know how to do the hyperlink so that I can add that. But I do post it on my website, and I don't know how to add buttons to things. So I've not put a button on my my Best of Missouri Hands either. So
On
Well,
the Best
so
of
Tim,
Missouri
I
Hand-
probably will be contacting you.
Yeah, on the Best of Missouri Hands, there is a button that says hyperlink where you can just cut and paste the link into your text in your Best of Missouri Hands Jerry page. Right at the top
Uh-huh.
where you can bold or italics or underline
Oh.
words.
Yeah.
There's a button over on the right that looks like a circle and a line and another circle, which is a hyperlink.
Okay.
Mhm.
And if you
Oh,
click
that's
that,
the
you
symbol
can,
for hyperlink.
yeah, you can
Oh,
put your link in there.
okay. Okay. I'll look at that once we get home. That's great. Thank you, Wanda. I appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Oh, yes. And
All right, ladies, anything else?
I just want to thank you,
one
Kim,
question-
for
one-
hosting. So many times I
One
want to
question-
join, but I get in the way. Thank you.
Yeah. One question for you guys. Is there any topics you'd like to see in a future Zoom workshop?
That's a good question.
Oh, well, I don't have a question, but I do have a question about something else. When when they had the convention that I did not go to this year, on the Beast table, I sent a whole lot of stuff with Nancy. Did it get sold? It didn't get dumped in the trash, did it? Did somebody take it home? Do you know?
Anything, Lois, anything that, a lot of stuff sold, a lot of stuff sold, but anything
Eh.
that didn't sell, yeah, anything that didn't sell, that came from like Stone Soup Gallery, Corey
Right,
took
that-
that back with her. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so I don't think anything went in the trash.
Oh, wonderful. I was a little concerned because, you know, I used to go digging through the trash. So
I don't
Yeah.
remember what the actual numbers were, but the Beast made some good money for Best Missouri Hands.
It did,
so,
yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, I'm planning on coming next year and I'll start collecting for the Beast again. I have a lot of, I collected stuff when I retired, and it's like I bought it when I knew that I was going to retire, and I figured, I'll use it. Well, 10 years later, have I used it? Not really.
well,
So
the next conference won't be until 2025. It's going every other year. So,
oh, every other
we will plan-
year.
Mhm.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's a lot of work to put that on. And
Oh, yeah.
so just plan on 2025. You can bring a lot of your
25.
stuff to,
Yeah,
For the
you got more
conference.
time to save it up.
Yes, yes. I hope it all fits in my car, though.
You got time to buy a bigger car too.
My car's pretty big.
Oh, okay.
When we got it last year, my husband kept telling the guys who wanted to sell us cars, you know, you're retired, you can go with a smaller car now. And he said, no, you don't understand. My wife needs a big car. So, yeah, I can fit all of my display in it, and some of my daughter's display. So
Oh, wow.
it works out just fine. It holds a lot. So, yeah.
that's what you need. As an artist, you need big cars, big vehicles.
You do. You do. You do. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe I used to do art shows with my mom's Toyota RAV. I've got pictures of stuff
What?
strapped on the roof of it, and then yeah, we used to strap on the roof, and then I would have if my mom went to the show with me, I'd have her get in the passenger seat, and then I would pile stuff on top of her, and so she couldn't see.
You did? Oh my
And
goodness.
if yeah, if we stop somewhere to get something to eat, I'd have to unpile everything so she could get out, and I'd pile it back in the seat. So having
Oh,
access to
great.
a van has been a big help,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, well, we're coming up on our time, so but Wanda and I and anybody else is always available. Best Missouri Hands, I think, is a great organization for
It is.
sharing information. Yeah. So I mean, get on the member only page if you got a question, need help with something, post it on there, reach out to one of us, and if we don't know it, we'll find someone who does, because someone in our group has the answer, definitely. So appreciate you joining us today. Next month, the second Tuesday of the month, we'll have another workshop. We don't have that hammered down yet what the topic will be, but like Wanda said, if you've got something that you're interested in, holler at us, because we'd be happy to try to tailor something to you. So anyways,
Excellent.
Lois, have a wonderful trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Annie, keep creating, yeah. Wanda, thank you for being here and holding down the fort, and hope you all
Thank
have
you,
a
Kim.
wonderful rest
thank
of the
you.
month. And we'll
Thanks.
see you on Zoom here soon.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Sounds great.
Bye.